What's good, Tsla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and this one I'm going to break down some very important news about what's going on with Tesla. I'm going to talk about some important levels intraday that you should be watching for, and also what's going on with SPY, Tesla, and the QQQ. Now, before I do anything like this, let me just mention a couple of things. Firstly, I am not a financial planner. Make sure you take none of this as financial advice. And don't forget about the Moomoo link. The offer ends very soon. Deposit $100 and you're guaranteed 5 free stocks with a $100 cash reward. The offer ends in just 3 days. Check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. All right, so Tesla got a pretty nice push up so far. It's up over 3% as of right now. It's trying to get above the 200 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. And the next resistance level to watch for that's going to be important is going to be the 50 EMA around the 1 hour time frame, which is at about the 250 zone. So we're going to be watching that carefully. That's the next important level. Tesla broke above the previous neckline of the Head and Shoulders, which was around the 247 area. We actually broke it, which is a good sign. And the market is gaining some strength. So Tesla's once again giving us some confirmation, but we need a little bit more confirmation to break above 250 to turn even more bullish. But for now, things are looking pretty good. And now let's just break down the news real quick before I talk about the charts. Just so you guys know, we had some data that came out earlier today. New home sales are actually up in the USA for the month over month, they're up. They're also up when it came to we're also up for consumer confidence. Sorry about that. That's also up higher than what the expectations were. The house prices index went up just a little bit, but nothing too serious. And the market got a very positive reaction to this, especially because of positive consumer confidence. Looking at the manufacturing index, this was less horrible than expected, and the services index was pretty decent. So the data was pretty good. The market liked it. And on top of all of this, Volvo just became the latest EV maker to move to Tesla's charging standard. Once again, Volvo has now joined into Tesla. They are adapting Tesla's adapters, basically. So that's good news. And then ChargePoint also did the same thing. Once again, more bullish news for Tesla. So bullish news is now starting to come back. Tesla's starting to improve in price action, and things are looking very, very good. But now, if you want to look at this from a bigger scale, Tesla had this like falling wedge that was developing, and Tesla is now testing the very top of the resistance level. If Tesla could break this, right, for real confirmation, I would say around this like 250 area would be a very clean break uh, around that to confirm a breakout of this falling wedge. I think it's very close to doing so. We could adjust this just a little bit, but it's basically around 250. That's going to give us like really, really strong confirmation that Tesla's going to break out hard. And I just want to remind you guys that the breakout of Tesla could be a little delayed because of Jerome Powell. He's going to be speaking again tomorrow when the market opens. So this is your warning, because if you're scalping like Coinbase, or if you're scalping like SPY or the QQQ, there's nothing wrong with securing some profits today as the market's already up. And you don't want that data decay to get the best of your options anyways. Not financial advice, but I'm just warning you guys that things could slow down a little bit tomorrow morning, but it's not the end of the world because Tesla looks strong. There's no like guaranteed even like rejects here just yet. We just have to watch it for the time being. Whether it rejects and kind of like drops down a bit because of Powell and then it pushes up, that's possible. Or it might not care. It might just break this and just continue pumping regardless of Powell. That's a very possible regardless. We just have to wait and see what it does right here, but it's still looking very primed. It looks very good. I believe Tesla will eventually break this nonetheless before the week ends, before Friday close. Tesla's going to make a very bullish move all the way back up to these higher levels, in my opinion. And I think it's looking very strong. It looks very, very nice. I just don't know if it's going to get a rejection risk because of Powell and then start pumping, or if this thing is going to just continue to break out. We just have to wait and see based off what the chart tells us and based off what happens going into tomorrow. But overall, okay, from the smaller time frames, you're going to be watching this 250 resistance zone. Watch that very, very carefully. If Tesla gets above there, and I know these levels are kind of tight, I usually use this for scalping. When you're scalping, you have like very tight levels. So if it breaks these levels, you're going to be watching it get above 250. If it breaks above that, the next minor resistance is going to be around 252.5, then potentially the very mid 250 area, so 254.25 to about 255.7. This zone right here is going to come next if Tesla gets above 252.5. If it breaks above this, watch 257 and potentially 260 after that. So it has a lot of potential for upside if it does get above 250. We just have to wait and see for the time being. If Tesla rejects a bit, right, especially going into tomorrow, if it does get a pullback because of Jerome Powell, Watch 247 now as support because this was previous resistance and this is where the neckline was, which was strong support previously for Tesla. So 247 is going to be important. Then comes the 245 zone. 244.5 to about 245, the entire zone right there. And then 242 followed by 240, which I don't really think Tesla's going to drop that hard unless something very bad happens. But so far, there's not really a sign of it. In my opinion, it's looking quite nice. Looks like we have an accumulation here, nice inverse head and shoulder structure. Tesla wants to start breaking to the upside. Now, just wait for that confirmation. Wait for a 250 break. If we could get it today, that would be very awesome. After Powell is out of the way, I think Tesla's going to pump a lot more anyways. I think there's a lot of upside coming. All right. So that's my view of Tesla for now. Looks very good, but always be open-minded just in case. Now, for SPY also got a very bullish looking break out of its falling wedge. Whoops. Let's fix this. Give me 1 second. All right. So for SPY, all right, this is looking pretty nice as well. We had this falling wedge pattern, a very clean break out of the falling wedge. And this thing actually broke above the resistance that we had right over here around our 50 EMA. So it broke above the resistance very close to that 435 area. And then this thing pumped all the way up to the 436 resistance, broke above that. And now we're testing our chop zone, right? Remember the chop zone I was talking about in the previous videos? Let me just pull this up. The chop zone is basically between 436.25 to 436.64. We saw a lot of choppy price action, lots of like trickery around here. So just be a little careful once we're in this area. But if it gets above 436.64, I mean, this thing has a lot of potential to push up even more if we get a clean break above that. But it does get a lot of like chop, a lot of sideways action here. So just be careful around this zone. If it gets above that resistance, it has the potential to push up to 438. We have a gap that's unfilled around like 439, and then 440 after that could come. For now, just be a little careful because, like I said before, nothing wrong with securing profits because when I say that, I'm not referring just to like shares. I'm just talking about like trading, scalping, that type of stuff. I'm still holding long-term Tesla shares, so don't misinterpret that. I'm trying to say that it's okay to take profits because we don't know what's going to happen with Jerome Powell. The market may slow down when he starts speaking. He's going to be speaking tomorrow as soon as the market opens. As soon as the market opens, Powell is going to be giving a speech. So be careful. He's going to be at the economic forum hosted by CNBC with many other economists and leaders. So just be very careful. I just want to warn you about that. And last but not least, for the triple Q, what's going on with this thing? This thing is looking strong, especially because of many stocks helping this thing pump on the tech side. Apple was breaking out very nicely. If anything, this thing broke above the resistance. So we were talking about this resistance around this 360 area. Get above that, and this thing has the potential to push all the way up to 362, then potentially 363. And now the resistance that's slowing it down is around 364. If it continues to break above this, okay, it could push all the way up to the mid 360s. Has a lot of potential. I think the next important level is going to be like 366. Has a lot of potential to push up more. But even though that's the case, I'd still be careful because of Jerome Powell speaking tomorrow morning. Who knows what the guy is going to say, so just be careful. If it ends up breaking down, you're going to be watching support at 362, 361.43, 361 basically flat, 360, then 359, and then 357.5. I know those are a lot of levels, but it has a lot of support basically. Those could all act as support. And it's looking very strong. Just to be blunt with you, it's looking very, very nice. Still be careful though because of Jerome Powell. Who knows what he's going to say tomorrow? So there's nothing wrong with some profit taking on those options because options could be risky and holding them for too long tends to not work very well, at least from my experience, and also in general because of that data decay and things like that. But anyways, thank you all so much for listening. I hope this was very helpful for you guys. Tesla's looking very nice, but it hasn't broken 250 just yet. I don't know what's going to happen with Powell speaking. It really depends on what he says. But after he's done talking, the market tends to improve a bit. And finally, as Tesla, progresses over the next couple of trading days, as we approach Friday, I think Tesla has a lot of upside coming. Well above 250, it's going to probably hit at least the 260s. Well, maybe even like 270 plus. But we'll talk more about that once it gets closer. For now, it's still fighting for 250. Looks very strong, and I'm really hoping for a nice break later on. It could still reject here and cool off tomorrow because of Powell. So just be careful with that. But later on, after Powell's out of the way, once Thursday comes, I think Tesla has a lot more upside coming. And this thing is still looking very, very nice for major, major upside. There's a good chance the bottom is in for Tesla for the week. But just to be safe, we'll be careful with Jerome Powell. And until then, I will see you guys very soon for my post-market update video. Thank you for listening. Tesla to the moon, because the long term is still incredibly bright. And peace out.